All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Over well, peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect, Shalom Barakatam. And it's just going to be a quick in transit lesson. Thought I was thinking about earlier is about acceptability, all right? And what's going to happen in the coming days is you're going to have to make a decision, you know, and ultimately you're going to have to, Esau's going to ask you to accept the unacceptable, all right? And this is really an exercise that you should really be going through in your mind now, man. There are certain things in your life that you need to look at it as unacceptable, whether it be a behavior, whether it be a situation, all right? You have to reject that thing, man. Reject mediocrity, because the scriptures speak about perfection, all right? Striving for the masteries, pressing toward the mark, all right? The various precepts you brothers have probably heard before, all right? But ultimately, you know, this is why the men of the Lord, we're not big in partying and mirth. We do it, you know. We have our moments but it's more as a means to an end. It's a pressure release valve. You know, we don't live to party, you know, we live to get out of here. You know, when we do go out, it's just a means to relieve stress. It's not just something that we do, we wake up thinking about, all right? Because we have to have a pilgrimage mindset in terms of being on the move, in terms of being able to reject things that are comfortable to our flesh now, but ultimately we know that the Lord has given us the breakdown on what the ultimate price is going to be, and that is death. There's going to be a horrible death, okay? And everything around us is basically become unacceptable, man. Everything, the food, the women, the government, okay? The prevalent philosophies, okay? All of these things have been rendered unacceptable. Now, when you read the book of Sirach, okay, it speaks about acceptable men, okay? Sirach, the 5th chapter, or maybe the 2nd chapter. I believe it's Sirach 2, all right? Where it says acceptable men are tried in the fire, man, okay? Now, if you accept what Esau proposes to you, which is unacceptable, then guess what? You're not going to be an acceptable man. You're going to be rejected in that day, all right? And this is a very simplified way of looking at it, but it warrants mentioning, because you know, so many things really are just going to boil down to that, man, all right? We're not going to be graded and scored on the amount of precepts you went, or how many camps you did, or how many videos you did. You know, it's going to be, what are you made of? Is your name written in the book of life? And the men whose names are written in the book of life, they would exhibit certain characteristics, fruits of the spirit, if you will, all right? And these men are not going to just accept wickedness, man, all right? Now, to a degree, we have to accept it now, but the Lord gave us basically a line to draw in the sand, because right now we have to accept a bunch of, you know, backwards lifestyles. You know, we got to suffer these things around us, man. You have to suffer your woman to step out on you and commit adultery. You have to suffer a lot of things, all right? But the line in the sand is going to be the charagma, the hour of temptation. Revelation, the 13th chapter, starting at verse 16, all right? You should hear us go into that all the time. You know, it's always mentioned. You should know what that is, okay? And if not, look it up, okay? And get active, man, all right? Because it doesn't matter the body of knowledge that you have and the number of precepts that you have, all right? What you know is not going to be enough to get you to overcome that test. And everybody's going to be tested, no matter how small you are, no matter how big you are. When you read Revelation 13 and 16, it says, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, man. All right? So that's everybody. Okay? And this is why we push, and we don't get up here and get you up and put a bunch bunch of titles in our videos to make you click on it, because we know, Jake like to watch entertainment. Well, that's on y'all, man. All right. If you're not taking this seriously, if you just want to be entertained, then be entertained, but just don't cry to me when that day comes. Okay, and we all know what day that I'm alluding to. Okay, so we don't do that. We just get up there and we tell you the important parts, because that's what we are. We're watchmen. Our job is to warn. All right, we're not playing jazz music. Okay, we're ringing a bell loud as hell about what's getting ready to go down, and it has everything to do with your spirit, your mind, your relationship with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, not how many firearms you own. Okay, not about how much food you are able to stack up. All right, that's the exercise here. All right, so meditate on these things, man. All right, there's gonna come a day where, the unacceptable is going to be presented to you, man, and you got to start rejecting these things in your life right now. You got a woman in your life, man, and all she does is give you hell. All right, it's more of a burden, all right, than it is than an asset. And you got to reevaluate that situation, because I'm gonna tell you this right now: the Lord does not care. Okay, that the reason you couldn't do the work, the reason you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, was because of a woman. Okay, if that's the reason that gets you up out of here, then that's the reason that gets you up out of here. He is not hearing no excuses. Okay, you should not be on the fence about whether or not this place is acceptable or not. It's clearly unacceptable. Everything about it, from the inception of America, it's been nothing but violence and bloodshed, and then atrocity laid up on atrocity, man. All right, only for them to get up and speak proudly about it till this day. Okay, so if you're aligned with this place, all right, that you got bigger problems than a woman, man. All right, I'll say that. But cut. The scriptures say if your left arm offend you, then cut it off, man. If your eye offends you, then pluck it out. All right, and you got to be willing to do that, man. Stop accepting these things in your life that are not acceptable. Now, I'm not saying you take a woman and you just kick her out to the curb as soon as she miles off to you. We understand women have, they got a mouth on them, and there are days where, she's just gonna have an attitude. But if it's to the point where you don't have any control or any kind of autonomy in your life, that's not gonna be an excuse. I'm telling you that right now. You better make a decision on whether or not your walk and your own salvation is at jeopardy, because the Most High is not gonna put you under a covering of a woman. Okay, a woman's gonna be under your covering. Okay, the Most High is choosing men. All right, so get in the mindset of rejecting these things, man. Just cut that shit out. We're in a trim the fat stage. Okay, if your woman's in your life and she's an asset to you, that's beautiful, man. That's great. Just make sure you keep your priorities in order, man. And the same thing, it could be for a job, man. If your job is always causing holy hell on you, stressing you out, your blood pressure's up, hey, man, reevaluate working there, man. The Lord gonna take care of us. Sometimes you build things up in your head bigger than what they are, and you just need to work on stress management. But if it's affecting your walk, man, your ability to put on for the Lord, you got to reevaluate things, man. That's not acceptable. Okay, and you can't be afraid. Remember, we got through chattel slavery, man. Okay, we can get through whatever is left in this walk in this side, man. And if you're a man of the Lord and you're sincere, the Most High will literally not put more on you than you can bear. So focus on that. Focus on being acceptable to Yahweh, and then everything else is gonna fall in line, man. It's just about delaying the pleasures, and I'm guilty of this as well, man. This is a self admonishment as well. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Hashem Rachak Wadah Shalom. Kwam Yashro.